How do you implement Object-Relational Mapping, ORM, for Backend Databases? Imagine a bridge that connects your programming language to your database, making data handling smooth and simple. That's what implementing Object-Relational Mapping is all about. It creates a layer that translates between objects in your code and tables in your database. This way, you can work with familiar objects instead of writing complex SQL queries all the time. The first step is to define entity classes. Think of these as blueprints for your data. For example, if you have a user in your app, you create a user class. Each class represents a table in your database, and the properties inside the class match the columns. So, a user class might have name, email, and password properties that map to columns in the user table. Next, you need to map relationships between your classes. If a user can have many posts, you set up a one-to-many relationship. This mirrors the foreign keys and join tables in your database. Proper relationship mapping ensures that when you fetch a user, you can also get their posts easily. Then, you configure metadata. This is like giving the ORM instructions on how your classes relate to the database. You can do this with annotations, configuration files, or code conventions, depending on the ORM framework you choose. This step tells the ORM exactly how to translate your classes into database tables and columns. Once everything is set up, you use the ORM's application programming interface to perform create, read, update, and delete operations. Instead of writing SQL, you call functions like save or delete on your objects. The ORM then automatically converts these calls into SQL queries behind the scenes. This makes data handling much faster and less error-prone. Handling transactions and sessions is also part of the process. When you start a transaction, the ORM keeps track of your changes. If everything goes well, you commit the transaction to save changes. If something goes wrong, you roll back to keep data safe. This helps maintain data integrity. You can also optimize your mappings or write custom queries for performance-critical parts. While ORMs automate most tasks, sometimes you need fine control over specific queries. Many frameworks allow you to do this easily. Popular ORM frameworks include Hibernate for Java, Entity Framework for Net, Django ORM for Python, and Sequelize for Node.js. These tools handle entity mapping, relationship management, and query generation, saving you time and effort. In short, implementing ORM involves creating object models that representing your database tables, configuring how these models connect to your database schema, and using an ORM framework to handle data operations. This approach makes back-end development more straightforward and accessible by bridging the gap between code and data storage.